I obviously, and I said this on the radio, I thought Ohio in the first half was just absolutely terrific. I told the staff at halftime, I said, we can make a couple adjustments here and there, but, I thought they were making big-time shots. Their execution on offense was really good. Coming into the game, I felt like they were playing as well as anyone in the league. They'd won 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 7 and could really see them coming on. I told Jeff that earlier, even today. Defensively, I thought they were, much more advanced than when we saw them in game one. And then offensively, they've been hitting on all cylinders. We saw that certainly in the first half. Fortunately, in the second half, we were able to slow them down a little bit and make some plays. Credit those guys at the I thought Banks, it's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but I thought his ability to at least try to slow Preston down a little bit, in the second half was a real key. Our ability to defend better in the second half, I thought, was a real key. And then we made some, timely plays on the offensive end. And it was, ironic because we were without Cheese on Saturday. And Christian said, I got you. And then today when he fouls out with 8:40 to go, I heard Cheese tell him, I got you. So, those guys really care about each other. It was good to see some guys step up and make some plays. And we were, fortunate enough to do it and just to have a better second half and able to win.
These last two games, did you learn anything different about your team in light of both of those guys being out at one point?
Yeah, that we can handle some adversity, which I thought was huge, and I thought we got some contributions off of our bench in both cases, the Buffalo game and today, that I thought was really, really big. And, hopefully that'll allow us to continue to play our rotation with even more confidence. And more importantly, I've always had confidence in those guys. But, my friend Clark Kellogg used to say that confidence is earned by how you play in games oftentimes. You can play well in practice, and that's important, and getting better, and guys have done that. But when you have a chance, George, to get in a game and do something productive of value to help your team win and you really make some plays, his theory was that's where ultimate confidence is derived. And I probably, I tend to agree with him on that.
How important is it to play a game like this going into the postseason? Facing that adversity.
Yeah, really two of them like that, right? Back to back. I think it could be good if we handle it the right way. Obviously we got another big one on Friday night against a really talented team. And, they beat us the first time and earned that. And, we know we've got to make some adjustments and we got to play a little bit better than we did in game one. And it should be a great night and great crowd and senior night. And we get to honor our guys. And Romeo gets honored with his jersey being retired, which is great. So it should be a great night, but we've got to, we got to get ourselves ready to go here the next 2 days for a big game on Friday night, on to the next one, which is, very much like a tournament style. So, it'll test we got to make sure we're humble and we're hungry on on Friday night.
Did you say anything to Banks at the halftime? Because he was who I was locked in on for the second half. I was looking at how they were playing Preston.
Yeah.
And he just seemed to be like a gnat.
Yeah, he was locked in. Yeah. Channel's a very, very competitive kid. Very competitive. And really takes a lot of pride in defending. Probably about as much as any guy we've had here in 3 years, to be honest with you. And that pride and that effort, he's really a tough kid physically, and he's pretty tough mentally. And so all those things factor into who he is as a defender. And, obviously, George, you watch us play. I mean, most nights he's got, if not the other team's best perimeter player, certainly one of them. And, I think for the most part always gives us a good effort at that end of the floor. And as a coach, that's comforting to know that you're going to get that type of energy and effort and toughness from a player on the defensive end, night in and night out.
Defensive player of the year?
I don't know. I mean, obviously I have to think about, there's some other good ones, obviously. But I tell you what, I wouldn't trade him. I love him. I think he's really, really good. And, I think he deserves to be on one of the on the team. But, obviously I get one vote. So we'll see how everyone else votes. But he's awful important to us on that end of the floor.
Did you guys win this game tonight with your depth? There's a reason you try to play 10 guys every night. Is it for nights like this.
Yeah, we did. We did do that tonight, and I thought our freshman Jason really stepped up, Ali and Trib. But those guys had to play a ton on Saturday with Cheese out. So that I thought that helped them play better tonight and have more confidence tonight. Kind of the Clark Kellogg thing, where your confidence is derived from game action. And I thought those guys really stepped up and made plays. But, yeah, our depth has really developed as the season has come to a close. Did it get accelerated because of Cheese's suspension Saturday? Yeah. Did it get accelerated because you don't plan on Christian Jackson fouling out with 9 minutes to go in the game? Yeah. But sometimes there's a benefit or silver lining in clouds. And, I thought in both cases, Saturday and today, that was probably the biggest silver lining that stood out from the two games was that we did have to use our bench and that they really stepped up and made plays.
Coach, when you take any job, you're coming in looking to build that culture. Obviously you're not by no means done. You talked about that in the locker room, but when you have a night like tonight, is it a chance for you to just sort of reflect a little bit and say, the last 3 years, look at how far we've come already. Look, we've already established.
Yeah, for sure. But for tonight. Then we wake up tomorrow. But yeah, we're gonna. Now, when I was a younger head coach, when Jason knew me, I was a little crazier. I probably wouldn't. I'd have been like, on to the next one. We're not doing this. What I've learned is this is hard. What we do is challenging. Ohio's busting their tail to try to win that game too now. Their kids played hard and played well. It's not easy, And so I've learned to enjoy the moment a little bit more as I've gotten older than maybe when I was younger, and I'd be thinking right on to the next one and, let's see, a Christmas character, Scrooge. But I did want him to enjoy this one, and you're right. It made me think back to when I interviewed in Arizona with Larry and George and the president at the time and what we talked about. It made me think about getting here and meeting with the guys, and then after 2 weeks, me, Larry, and George looking at each other because some guys had left, and that's okay. I mean, we wanted guys who wanted to be here, but by the time the dust cleared, we had, I think it was 5 scholarship players left, and only one of them had played in every game the previous year. And so I've always said this. I've got tremendous respect for Keith and what he built here. He's always going to be a large part of this deal. I mean, just he's a reason why. One of the reasons I came was because of all the success that he had. So it's no knock on him. I mean, it was he did such a terrific job. It just so happened that's how it shook out, and we had 5 guys left. So we had to start from scratch, and so now here we are. Spring is approaching 2020. I was hired spring of 17, and it certainly does make you reflect and make you appreciate the people that have really believed in where we were going and what we were doing, because we had some challenges too, Spence, throughout that time. A lot of different types of challenges that we had to fight together, and to have an opportunity to do something like tonight's hard to do. So, it makes me think of all the people, and I always say it takes a village to do something like this. It's not no one person can win a championship. It's just not possible. And that's what makes it really cool.
It just shows how connected we are. These are my brothers, and I love them to death. They just kept my head up. They knew I was a little bit upset by getting fouled out, but they just told me they got it, and I believe in them, and I trusted them, and they proved it. So,
does it help you guys that the past 2 games, your top 2 scorers have been out? You're heading into the MAC tournament, and have you showed anybody anything by being able to pull out wins in both those games?
It just shows that we're a connected team. It's next man up mentality. So if one person's down, our young guys are getting better and better every single day, and they're proving that on the floor. So it just shows that we're more than just 4 seniors and a junior. We got a whole team.
What was your initial reaction in here? I saw how you reacted outside, but in here when you fouled out.
I mean, the call didn't go my way. I didn't think I fouled him, but the ref called it, so I had to be next play, and I had to just focus on helping my team win at the end of the day.
What did it feel like cutting down the nets tonight?
This is what I came here for.
Yeah.
So I came here for just establishing that culture to try to do it multiple years. And it's just great that we were able to do this together. So I'm just happy we still got we still got another one to cut down though.
What do you have to say about the defense Channel put up on Preston in the second half? Because that's what I was focused on in the second half. And it seemed he had him on lockdown and he had him frustrated. Did I see that right?
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. He got to be the front runner for that. And Channel, y'all know Channel, he's a dog. Channel guard the best perimeter every game. And he do a pretty good job of doing it. So we have full confidence in Channel, and he gonna get things done. We know he will. Yeah.
Aside from Channel, on the defensive side, just what was sort of the message at halftime? Because obviously first half, they were hitting a lot of shots, sort of having their way, and then along with Channel, with the rest of you guys, it seemed like the defense really picked up in the second half, and that's what obviously helped.
I'm just gonna say Coach gave us a message, and we answered it.
Okay. Did he bring up last year on this court against this team during halftime?
Before the game, but not during the game. Yeah.
Tyler, what did it feel like for you cutting down the nets?
It was big for me. I mean, this is one of my goals when we got here. This is one of our team goals when we went to the retreat. And it's just one check on our list that we got, but we want more. This ain't enough for us. We want more.
What did games like this, where you won, I forget how many conference games by double digits.
Yeah.
You had to work for this one more than you normally do. What does a game do for you going into the postseason?
I mean, this game here, this is basketball, you have fun. You want competition. You don't want to, we'll take a blowout every game, but games like that's what shows like how connected we are. And to pull out games like that, like you gotta have toughness and togetherness. So we got that.